A terrified man is seen sprinting through the woods as if something is chasing him. We never see what he's running from, only his panic. He bursts out onto the road, desperate for safety, but before he can get his bearings, he's struck by an oncoming car. The story then shifts to Detective Jamie Pena, who is being briefed about the incident. The man from earlier is identified as Angel Torres, a night security guard at the local morgue. He survived the accident but is now in a coma, unable to explain what drove him to flee in such fear. All the investigators know is that something inside the morgue terrified him enough to run for his life. Jamie and his team proceed to the morgue to investigate. When they check the security system, they discover that all the cameras have been mysteriously disabled, except for one feed. In the remaining footage, they watch Angel notice something unusual on the upper floor. He grabs a flashlight and heads toward the morgue rooms. What he sees up there isn't revealed for now, but moments later he makes a frantic emergency call, barely able to describe what's happening before fleeing the building in panic. The team concludes that whatever terrified Angel occurred inside the forensic center itself. They head upstairs to inspect the morgue chambers and discovered that the body of Micah Villaverde, the wealthy woman who had died earlier that day, is missing. Jamie then orders Norma to secure the entire facility and the surrounding woods with a police cordon. An officer then provides background information about the deceased. Micah Villaverde was married to Alex Aloa Marcos, director of one of her companies, a pharmaceutical laboratory called Pharmatech. She was a powerful businesswoman with significant investments in the tech sector, as well as joint ventures with her sisters, Luna and Gloria Villaverde. The scene then shifts to the Villaverde residence. Luna and Gloria are watching an old wedding video of Micah and Alex. In the footage, a younger Alex stands nervously at the altar while Micah, playful as always, jokingly says, "No," before bursting into laughter and finally saying, "Yes." The sisters comment that only Micah could pull off a moment like that and still have her groom completely smitten. The memory brings them both to tears as they think of her. Nearby, Erica Aloa, Alex's sister, leans into Alex and telling him gently that they'll leave and let him rest. The moment they're gone, he hops onto his motorcycle and speeds off into the night. He soon arrives at a secluded spot where he meets a woman named Carla, revealed to be his secret lover. He tells her that everything has finally fallen into place and that the two of them are now free to be together. Relieved, Carla pours a drink so they can toast to their new beginning. But their celebration is cut short when Jamie calls Alex, informing him that Micah's body has disappeared from the morgue. Carla immediately panics, but Alex reassures her, insisting that his plan was flawless and left no loose ends. It becomes clear that Micah's death was no tragic accident. Alex murdered his wife. To keep up appearances, Alex heads back to meet Jamie. The detective explains that their leading theory is that someone stole Micah's corpse, possibly to harm her family or to target Alex personally, which suggests a very deliberate act. Jamie also points out that Alex wasn't home when they first tried calling him. Alex casually lies, claiming he stepped out to buy painkillers for a headache. Before Jamie can press further, he's summoned to meet Dr. Tapia, the physician who officially declared Micah dead. As soon as Jamie steps away, Alex secretly calls Carla again, telling her about Angel, the security guard, who may be the key to unraveling everything. He instructs Carla to confirm whether Angel is truly in a coma, then quickly deletes the call log before being pulled in for questioning. A short while later, Dr. Tapia explains her medical assessment. Micah's apparent cardiac arrest could have been caused by her anxiety from flying, since she had just returned that morning from a business trip to Los Angeles. But Tapia also wants to review Micah's medical history to rule out catalepsy, a rare condition where the body becomes rigid, the pulse weakens, and a living person can be mistaken for dead. If Micah had suffered from this condition, it would mean one thing: she might not have been dead when they declared her dead. The doctor then presents another possible scenario. Micah's death could have been triggered by extreme stress or exposure to certain chemical toxins. But Detective Jamie dismisses the first explanation, arguing that if Micah had simply been overwhelmed by stress, she would have called for help instead of collapsing silently. Everything points to one thing: someone removed the body to stop them from performing an autopsy that might reveal the true cause of death. As Jamie observes Alex's behavior, he begins to suspect him even more. Alex remains oddly calm and emotionless despite losing his wife just hours earlier. Later, Jamie meets up with Sylvia for coffee. She checks on him, noticing his exhaustion. Jamie quietly admits that he only drinks coffee now, prompting Sylvia to gently suggest switching to tea. Seeing how lonely he feels, She gives him a comforting hug. Meanwhile, Alex becomes restless and demands to leave, claiming he needs rest after the chaotic day. But Officer Mateos asks him to stay a little longer for further questioning. Suddenly, the entire facility plunges into darkness as the power goes out. Left alone in the dim corridor, Alex hears a loud crash coming from another room. Nervous but curious, he cautiously follows the sound. It leads him straight to the cold chamber where Micah's body had vanished. There, he finds her personal belongings laid out, and among them is a small vial of the same toxin he used on her. The sight triggers a vivid flashback. Earlier that day, after Micah returned from her long flight, she relaxed in a warm bath. Alex secretly poured the toxin into her drink. It was designed to induce cardiac arrest with no detectable traces. Micah tried to talk about their 3-week separation and suggested they reconnect, even offering to reschedule his upcoming meeting. But Alex brushed her off with excuses, saying he had work to do. As he left, he noticed her sipping the poisoned drink. The toxin worked exactly as planned. 8 hours later, her heart stopped. Before leaving for work, Micah had even proposed a date night, but Alex declined, pretending she'd just be too tired from traveling. She confidently assured him she'd feel fine, unaware of what she had just consumed. Back in the morgue, footsteps approach. Jamie and his team are returning to the room. Panicking, Alex quickly slips the vial of toxin into his pocket before they enter. Jamie immediately scolds Alex for tampering with the investigation after noticing that Micah's phone is missing from her personal items. Since the locker where her belongings were kept has been forced open, the officers begin to suspect that Alex may have meddled with evidence. They search him on the spot. During the pat-down, Jamie finds the vial of toxin in Alex's pocket. Alex hurriedly explains that he found it on the floor and was planning to throw it away, but the detectives don't look convinced. Right then, Carla calls Alex's phone to update him about Angel. Thinking quickly, Alex refers to her as her sister, trying to avoid suspicion in front of Jamie's sharp gaze. Afterward, he asks for permission to use the restroom, and once alone, he quickly calls Carla back. She confirms that Angel really is in a coma, just as the police had reported. Returning to the investigation, Alex suggests that someone is deliberately targeting him, stealing Micah's phone and planting clues to frame him. He vows to uncover who's trying to destroy him, especially now that his hidden secrets are at risk of being exposed. As he steps away to wash his face, a sudden movement catches his attention. A nearby window quietly slides open. On the sill lies a folded note. When he opens it, he's stunned to find a dinner reservation card he and Micah once made. But now there's an eerie handwritten message added. "I still see you even when I close my eyes." The note triggers another flashback. He remembers coming home to find the dinner reservation laid out, part of Micah's attempt to reconnect. She had grown worried about their relationship. Alex had been coming home later and later, and she feared she was losing him. But he brushed off her concerns with forced warmth, and they eventually reconciled that evening. Later that night, after she went to bed, Alex received a romantic text from Carla. "I see you even when I close my eyes." Back in the morgue, that realization chills him to the bone, making him believe that Micah is somehow back, and she's targeting him. Mateos eventually comes looking for Alex, realizing he's been in the bathroom far too long. Desperate to hide the letter, Alex tries flushing it, but the toilet has no water. With no other way to destroy the evidence, he forces himself to chew and swallow the note, barely managing not to gag. Mateos then escorts him to the security control room, which has now been opened for inspection. Inside, they find a damaged air duct leading directly to the roof, likely how the intruder entered the facility. They also discover someone tampered with the system's date settings, rolling the calendar back and using that date as the security code. Jamie asks Alex if that specific date means anything to him, but Alex insists he has no idea. The question triggers a memory. He once used that exact code to enter his office. Micah had surprised him with an unexpected visit and teased him for using such a sentimental date. Caught off guard, Alex admitted it was the day they had a serious argument, something he hated and wished to avoid. Despite his coldness, Micah always tried to mend their relationship, even gifting him his dream motorcycle to bring them closer again. Back at the morgue, Jamie explains that footprints were found near the emergency exit and they expect to identify the intruder soon. He casually asks Alex for his shoe size, growing more certain that Alex may have removed the body to cover up something. Suddenly, the lights flicker and the fire alarms begin blaring. Sprinklers burst from the ceiling, flooding the entire hallway. Amidst the chaos, Alex receives a call from Carla, and he hurriedly describes the strange events unfolding around him. But then he freezes. He notices a morgue name tag, printed with Carla's name. Panic strikes him. He warns Carla to get out immediately, convinced that Micah might still be alive, might know about their affair, and could be targeting her next. In the flashing lights, Alex even catches a brief, horrifying glimpse of what looks like Micah's figure watching him. Moments after ending the call, Jamie walks back in and overhears Alex talking to someone he claims is his sister. Soon after, the toxicology report arrives. The substance they found earlier is revealed to trigger cardiac arrest 8 hours after being consumed, and it leaves no detectable trace, making it an ideal murder weapon. At the same time, investigators note a cigarette but in the bathroom Alex had used, which they now suspect caused the fire incident. Jamie immediately orders an officer to lock Alex in a separate room for the time being. Isolated from everyone else, Alex sits in growing fear. Moments later, he notices something by the window. When he gets closer, he is shocked to see a glass of wine, the same one he gave to Micah with the substance in it. Suddenly, but then Alex jolts awake. It was only a dream. Moments later, eerie music starts playing in the next room. Alex cautiously follows it. Inside, he finds several covered bodies, and the music turns out to be a ringtone coming from a phone inside one of the body bags. When he answers, the caller ID shocks him. It's coming from Micah's phone. He trembles as he picks up, only to hear a distorted female voice before the call abruptly drops. The body bag is labeled with the name Javier Alonso, and the phone inside shows recent calls from Micah. In a panic, Alex dials the number back, but a woman answers, explaining the phone was found abandoned in the restroom of a restaurant called Arabesco. When Alex hears the restaurant's name, Arabesco, it triggers a memory. He recalls the night Micah excused herself during their dinner there a few weeks before her business trip. She had stepped away to speak with a man, then came back claiming he was her new lawyer and that she wanted to update their marriage contract to change how their assets would be divided. The news stunned Alex, until she revealed it was just a joke. The man was actually her therapist. Snapping back to the present, Alex quickly calls Carla, asking her to dig up everything she can on Javier Alonso, who he now suspects was the same man Micah met at Arabesco. He explains the situation and tells her he's standing in front of Javier Alonso's corpse as they speak. Meanwhile, outside the morgue, Jamie smokes in silence, his thoughts drifting back 10 years. His once happy life with his wife and daughter, Eva, was shattered by a horrific accident that killed his wife. The grief still lingers, and this case seems to rip that old wound wide open. Shortly after, an officer approaches Detective Jamie and gives him new information they've gathered. Later, Jamie confronts Alex, laying out his theory. Alex poisoned Micah with the toxin, then stole her body to avoid an autopsy. Alex pushes back hard, insisting he's innocent and confidently answering every question without slipping up. But the tables turn when Jamie reveals a crucial detail. 3 months earlier, Micah had hired a private investigator because she suspected Alex was cheating. According to Jamie, the investigator may have gathered evidence, and Alex found out. Facing the possibility of losing everything in a divorce, Alex would have had motive to act quickly and secure Micah's fortune. When Jamie mentions the investigator's name, Javier Alonso, Alex freezes, then insists on showing him the body he saw earlier. But when they check the storage, the tag has changed. Javier Alonso's name is nowhere to be found on any body. After searching every corpse and coming up empty-handed, Alex rushes to the restroom, overwhelmed, and vomits. Meanwhile, Pablo's team raids Alonso's office, only to discover that everything has been trashed. Someone got there first and wiped out any trace of evidence. With nothing left to find, Jamie orders the team to head to Alex's house next. Elsewhere, Alex calls Carla, who is now in full panic. She tells him she found a letter on her way home, containing a flash drive labeled Alonso. Inside were photos of them together in public, along with a voice recording exposing Alex's plan to kill Micah. Realizing they're being hunted, Alex urges her to run immediately. But things go south fast. Carla senses someone lurking around her, and when she tries to escape, a speeding car slams into her. Hearing the terrifying crash through the phone, Alex tries to bolt out of the morgue to get to her, but Jamie restrains him. Despite Alex's desperation, Jamie refuses to let him leave, and when Alex fights back, Jamie ends up knocking him out. By the next morning, Terrified for Carla's life and with nowhere left to hide, Alex finally breaks. After sending officers to Carla's address, Jamie sits Alex down and records his full confession. Alex begins by explaining how he met Carla 8 months prior, when he was teaching chemistry in her class. What began as casual friendship quickly grew into an intense affair, fueled by the problems he was having with Micah at home. But when Carla realized she would always come second, she pulled away. Desperate and obsessed, Alex decided the only way they could be together was to get rid of Micah and claim her fortune. He then speculates that Micah may have discovered his plan. Since she was also knowledgeable in chemistry, Alex believes she may have switched the tainted drink with a neuroleptic, causing her body to mimic death. Once the drug wore off, she could have woken up and begun haunting him for revenge. Just then, Jamie receives a call from Pablo. The team found damning evidence in Alex's home. Blueprints of the morgue, an unregistered recently fired gun, and a shovel in Alex's car, along with boots matching the footprints at the morgue's emergency exit. During this time, Jamie receives an urgent call from the hospital. Angel has finally woken up and given his statement. He explains that when he went inside to investigate the strange noises, he discovered one of the bodies was missing, and found it lying inside the elevator. Before he could react, the elevator doors suddenly shut. Terrified, he immediately called the authorities. But when the doors opened again, a masked figure ambushed him, firing several shots. Angel managed to escape and ran for his life, only to be struck by a passing car moments later. Despite this new testimony pointing straight at him, Alex continues to deny stealing the body. He insists that Micah is manipulating everything from the shadows, claiming she has the money and influence to disappear without a trace. Jamie, fed up with Alex's excuses, drags him along as the team reports a major discovery. They found a body in the woods. This time, there are no twists. After exhumation, the body is confirmed to be Micah's. Things get even worse for Alex when police reveal that Carla doesn't exist. No woman under that name lives at the address he gave, and no Carla ever attended his classes. Jamie explains that she was never real, just a fabricated persona Alex used to justify his affair and motive for murder. With the case nearly wrapped, Jamie orders his team to clear the scene. Realizing his world is collapsing, Alex attempts to escape. While running, Alex suddenly feels dizzy and weak. He collapses to the ground but still tries to crawl forward. But Jamie corners him quickly. Now alone, Jamie reflects on the night that changed his life 10 years ago. His wife died in a hit and run, and the culprit fled without offering help, leaving Jamie and his young daughter trapped in the wreckage. For years, he couldn't recall the license plate, until recently, when his daughter remembered a car mirror charm with a hotel name on it. It took years of searching, but they eventually identified the driver. And the truth is revealed. Carla wasn't imaginary at all. She was Eva, Jamie's daughter, who infiltrated Alex's life to expose him. She needed to be certain they had the right man, and Alex, blinded by love, confessed everything, including the fatal hit and run that destroyed their family. Ever since, Jamie and Eva have been setting the perfect trap. They orchestrated the chaos at the morgue. They set up every clue. And Alex fell for all of it. As Alex collapses, Jamie calmly recounts how each part of their plan led him to this moment. He gestures toward the forensic team collecting Micah's real body and tells Alex he'll be joining her soon. Carla, Eva, had slipped the same toxin into his drink the night before when he visited her, and now the 8-hour timer has run out. With Alex's confession recorded and the toxin mimicking a natural cardiac arrest, his death will be ruled as stress-induced heart failure. The film ends with Alex gasping for breath, and Jamie leaning in to deliver his final words. Tick-tock. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more mind-bending recaps like this. Thank you for watching.